I have a jar of olive juice. You can see there's no olives in here, but I thought it would be fun to see what would happen if I use this instead of water in my no-knead crusty bread. So that's what we're gonna do today. Measuring by weight, of course. All right, 2 grams of yeast. You could do 1. I'll see what I can get to register on the scale. There we go. I'm just gonna give this a good mix. My usual no-knead crusty bread recipe uses 7 grams of salt, but I'm gonna assume this olive brine is quite salty, so I'm gonna cut the amount of salt that I add to the dry ingredients in half and let this provide the rest of the salt. Is that the right ratio? I don't know, we're experimenting, we'll find out. 3. This a good mix. Time to add the olive juice. There we go. I thought about adding olives to this, like actual pieces of olive, but I want to see what just the olive brine does to the dough. So I'm going to leave actual pieces of olives out of this so that I can get a better sense of like what the olive brine actually did. And then if it turns out really well, the next time I make it, I can add the olive pieces. So far, it seems like the olive brine maybe doesn't absorb quite as well as the water does. This is feeling a little drier than usual, but it's gonna have a long rise time, which will give plenty of time for the brine to finish absorbing. So I'm not too worried about it, and I'm not gonna add anything else. I'll just see how this turns out. So that's what the dough looks like. I'm just gonna use the dough whisk to kind of pull all the edges into the middle here as best I can, so you kind of have a dough ball. And this will rise until tomorrow. I'll probably pop it in the fridge tonight to slow it down, but I'll let it rise at room temperature during the day. There we go. That's all it needs, and it'll sit until I'm ready to bake it tomorrow. All right, day 2. This has risen. Let's make it into bread. So far, it feels maybe a little lower hydration. It's a little less sticky than when I make it with just water. It has a really nice gluten structure. You could see it. I'm gonna dust it with flour on top to cover it with a towel while the Dutch oven preheats. Looking good. We'll just do 1 down the middle. So far, it looks great. So now we just have to let it cool, and then I can slice it open and see how it tastes. We are on day 3 of this experiment because I put this away yesterday and forgot about it, and now we're gonna cut it on day 3. It smells very strongly of olive. Like it has that salty, olivey smell, but we'll see if it tastes that way. It has kind of a tight crumb. I'm wondering if that's just the added salt from the brine, or it might have just been that I didn't leave it long enough to rise before putting it in the oven. Little underproofed here. I am getting a hint of olive, but I definitely underproofed it. I think I'm gonna play around with this a little more. First loaf, not a total winner, but there's some interesting ideas here worth exploring. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm gonna eat more of this.